I turned 50 this year, and thank you. I had the good fortune of being able to go back home and spend some time with my family shortly after my birthday. And one of the most memorable things that happened was my dad walked into the living room holding a small box in his hand. And I knew something was up because he had this really sneaky smile on his face, and he thinks he's a comedian anyway. Um, but I also knew that not that many things can fit in a box that size. So I'm making it rain in my head, right? I'm thinking, is it a bracelet? Is it a ring? Is it a necklace? Is it maybe just a wad of cash that he wants to give me? So he walks up to me and he says, Lori, I have been waiting a really long time to give this to you. And then he opened his hand and he showed me what it was. And my mouth fell open in disbelief. This is what he gave me. And as I looked at it, I realized that I had given him those same cards 27 years before. And he liked them so much that he had held on to them and kept them in pristine condition just so that he could give them back to me. And so, yes, I had dyed the gray out of my hair just that very morning. But I think he must have thought the same thing that I thought when I gave them to him, that I was thinking in that moment, which was, who are you calling old? So, don't get me wrong, being 50 has some perks. I mean, there are places I can go to and get the seniors discount now. But most of all, it made me realize that I don't have a lot of time to waste and that I need to really seize opportunities. And so, in the spirit of seizing the moment, I want to tell you all about a place that I realize that I am now eligible to be on the waiting list for. Now, to call this place extraordinary is an understatement. And even though there's one in just about every city, not that many people talk about it because it's sort of a mysterious underground place. But there is always a long line of people waiting to get in. And the incredible thing about this place is that the people who are there, when they're finally admitted, they bring with them some of the most innovative ideas on the planet. Inventions that could change the course of world history, medical discoveries that could save millions of lives, some of the most brilliant minds that you have ever heard of, and some that you have never heard of, and the creative minds, ideas for books that will change your perspective, introduce new concepts, or that can make a difference in someone's life, and stories yet to be told that take you to these entirely new realms. It would not surprise me if there was the newest Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, or Game of Thrones yet to be discovered. And the music, everything from classical to rock to jazz and hip hop that makes you want to pop and lock. Yes, I can do that. And the artwork, sculptures and paintings that transcend cultures and that would reach deep into your soul if you had the chance to gaze upon them. Now, this place sounds amazing, doesn't it? Well, because of all of the innovations and the ideas that are there, some people have even dubbed it the richest place on the planet. Now, how many of you want to know where this place is? Okay, I need some hands, people. All right. Okay, let's show them. See, we are all on the waiting list. And this is where the ideas go that you don't act upon, the ideas that are meant only for you and that only you can bring to fruition. Because here's the thing, guys. When we let our fears of being ridiculed and judged hoodwink us into playing small, it keeps us from reaching our potential or going after our dreams. Do you think that anyone other than Da Vinci could have given us the Mona Lisa? Mozart, his Requiem. Stephen King, that scary as hell clown called It. And this dude right here, the Super Soaker. Don't laugh, he's a millionaire off of that thing. So just think about your favorite artist, your favorite musician, your favorite author, and imagine how less rich your life would be without their contribution. Sometimes those crazy, unorthodox, out-of-the-box ideas come to you because they're meant for only you and only you can execute upon them. And often it's the people that we care about, that we look up to, and who care about us, who discourage us from going after those dreams. They tell us, let somebody else. It's too risky. Why you? And 9 times out of 10, we believe them. But they're not telling you what your limitations are or what you can't do. They're telling you what they can't do or what they're too afraid to do. Now, I have had my share of crazy out-of-the-box ideas over the years. I remember when I first came to Hong Kong many, many moons ago, I started a catering business, and I started it doing New Orleans-style cuisine because that's where I'm from and that's what I know how to cook. And there were so many people that told me it wouldn't work. They said, Chinese people don't like spicy food. They won't eat soft-shell crab. Your food is too exotic. I thought they eat rice. That's what we eat. So I didn't listen to them. And the reason is because, number one, I'm a Taurus and I'm stubborn. And also, I realized that I was onto something and I had to go after it. And that concept, just doing that, led to 2 award-winning restaurants that got me featured in Time, Newsweek, on CNN, CNBC, and Bloomberg, and had me win 2 Entrepreneur of the Year awards. And over the years, I have had a lot of other crazy out-of-the-box ideas, and some of them were wildly successful, and some of them, if I'm being generous, they were huge flops. Fortunately, my most recent venture, which I started with my husband, falls into the former category. But we were also told that it was something that wouldn't work here. And it's a company called Kitchen Sink. And what we did was take the co-working space and the tech incubator model, and we smashed them together and applied it to the food industry to create an affordable place for food entrepreneurs to start up with. And we had so many reasons why it wouldn't work. But had we listened to those naysayers, that idea would have remained an idea on a piece of paper on our dining room table, instead of one that has now helped to launch over 20 companies in Hong Kong. And I'm not trying to say that you should not seek out advice, but you should trust yourself when you have those seemingly crazy ideas that nobody else gets but you. You should always push and strive to the, oh, I'm just trying to see what's up there now. Trust your crazy ideas, that's right. So you should always strive to push forward and do the things that only you know that you can do, even at the risk of failing or perhaps looking a little bit silly. Because you see, we have all been conditioned that failing is bad. But if you don't give yourself permission to fail, you will never have permission to fully succeed. Sometimes you will win, and sometimes you will learn. And as long as you have breath, It is never too late to be what you might have been, because your past does not have to equal your future. And here is another thing. Those mistakes are necessary. I have made lots of mistakes in my career going after crazy, crazy ideas. You know, some of them have left me financially and emotionally devastated. I mean, I would remember being down to my last 100 Hong Kong dollars and going down to the ATM machine to get it out of the bank, and I couldn't because there was $97 in the account. They had taken out bank charges. So I had to walk into the bank, stand in a really long line, and get up to the counter and write a check to get that money out while I watched the teller smirk at me. And that was one of the most humiliating things of my life. But I don't regret it. I don't regret taking the chance that got me there. I don't regret the trying. You can't let your mistakes allow you to not move forward. And those mistakes have taught me invaluable life and business lessons. And without those lessons, I would never have been put on the path to embracing my gifts. I would not have had the mettle or the courage to be able to start again and risk failing again. Instead, I would have been living a life that was expected of me, one that kept me from doing what I really wanted to do. Even at 50, I finally figured that out. You still get to disrupt yourself. I had to disrupt myself again and leap into a new business, one that was speaking and personal development and coaching and things that I had never done before, but what I knew was my true calling. Disrupting yourself is uncomfortable, and you will not always look good doing it, let me tell you. But as one of my mentors says, it's always awkward before it's elegant. And you guys are not average. So ask yourself, what would you do with your life if there were no barriers to success? And then go out and do that. You see, I believe that we all have something, some special gift. And when you don't allow yourself to embrace that gift, and then you don't do what you're meant to do, you are selfishly depriving the world of that gift and possibly allowing it to die with you. Now, I need your help with something. I want to ask you guys to do something. I'm repurposing from a video that I once saw. I don't even remember the name, and I hope I do it justice. But I would like to ask you guys to close your eyes. Close your eyes. And imagine this. Your life has suddenly ended, right this very moment. It was just one of those things, but don't worry, it was painless. 1 minute you were here, the next minute, gone. And there was no warning, so you had no time to say goodbye. And no matter how much your family and your friends loved you, life goes on. The world keeps spinning. Let that settle in for a minute. So now that you're dead, think about, what did you love about your life? Do you have any regrets? What would you do differently if you had one more chance? Okay, open your eyes. You're about to get your life back. But before we do that, I want you to take a deep breath in and hold. 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 Now breathe in new life, a new chance, a new opportunity, new hope. What are you going to do with the time that you have been given? Now, Harley Davidson once wrote, let's see where we are. When you're writing your story, don't let someone else hold the pen. So, who is writing your story? And what are you waiting for? Because as long as you are here, there is always space to write a new chapter. Don't ever forget that we are all on that waiting list, and we don't know when we're going to get our final invitation. So when you have those out-of-the-box, crazy, unorthodox ideas that come to you, just remember that you are the right person in the right place at the right time to go after what you were meant to do. So stop trying to fit in when you were born to stand out. Thank you.